from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV, Roku.
It is Manifestation Monday, and we're going to talk about the full moon because you can use it to reprogram your subconscious mind. And we know the truth that we are powerful spiritual beings right here, right now, celebrating life every day in La La Land.
All right, love it. Miracles Monday.
Miracles Monday. We had a busy weekend. I'm so to tell you all about it. But first, I want to welcome to the show our special guest this morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we had the absolute honor of meeting Ms. Deborah Alessi, the gorgeous woman in pink, on the red carpet at her event this weekend, the Face Forward Gala, the 10th annual. Hello, Deborah. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So here at Good Morning La La Land, we'd like to know a little bit about your morning routine. How do you start your day? We know you're a very acclaimed businesswoman.
Well, being Scottish, I like to start my day with a cup of tea. And then I probably work out 4 days a week. That really motivates me and gets me going.
Oh, I love that.
Gotta get that workout in.
Yeah.
Got to get the workout in for the day and get the energy up.
And Stephen Kramer Glickman is in the house. We're talking the Family Film Awards, comedian, actor. How do you start your day? I see this big boy pin right there on you.
Well, every day I look in the mirror in the morning. I have a mantra where I say, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Just let this thing go. And then I just turn to whoever's near me. I say, hey, come ride with me. Every morning.
Let's see where this thing
Also
goes.
coffee. Let's just see where it goes. Also coffee is good.
Sounds awful like a song I know.
I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of music.
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of fun on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Teddy Lane Jr. is in the house. Good morning, Teddy.
Good morning. Good morning.
With over 125 film and TV credits under your belt, how do you even start your day?
That makes me feel old, right there.
No, you should feel
age.
accomplished.
How do I start? Thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. I like to eat. I love to eat. I love food. So I wake up and I visualize what I'm gonna eat. I visualize me cooking it. I visualize the smell, and I get up and I make it happen. I cook it and eat it. And then I go to the gym.
And then you go to the
I
gym.
feel guilty for what I just did and what I'm gonna do all day.
Oh.
Hello.
Well, thank you. No need to feel guilty, especially when we've got such an incredible coach with us. Good morning, Tanya Stewart. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. This is really a very big blessing, and I'm happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about how do you start your day? What do you do to really set your intentions?
You know, I do have a morning ritual to get my energy going. So the very first thing I do with my eyes closed is I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then when I get up, I have books. I do random readings. So I do a random reading from a Florence Scovel Shin book. And I also do a random reading from the Bible, and then I write my 10 gratitudes from the things that I'm grateful for the day before.
Florence is the jam.
She's amazing.
She
The game
is
of
the
life.
jam.
We love her.
I think we're in the presence of some like-minded women this
Definitely,
morning.
for sure.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. We're excited to talk to you more later in this show.
Woo, what a weekend. Star-studded filled red carpet.
Yes.
Another one, Beverly Wilshire. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful event.
So incredible.
Incredible.
It was. We were there for La Dolce Vita. And let me tell you, it was La Dolce
Oh my gosh.
Vita.
Yeah.
Right? It was such an incredible community to be a part of. We saw Caitlyn Jenner receive the honorary The Beacon Award, and she gave this incredibly inspiring speech. We know that the Face Forward Foundation is now working with the transgender community. We're so excited about the work that they're doing.
Oh my gosh, just an incredible event. Beautiful event, incredible cause, beautiful people.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that exciting performance by Grammy Award-winning Neo. Hey, oh my God, right?
Crushed it. He always crushes it, but he really crushed it.
It was so incredible. So we're excited to talk to more about the cause with Deborah later in the show.
Right? So what'd you guys do the rest of the weekend?
Oh, that was the whole weekend. It was the highlight of the weekend. I Sunday mostly spent it just like refreshing and like recharging my batteries. What did you do, Jez?
Well, I was working on Sunday with P&L Media. They invited me to do a photo shoot for the launch of one of their dear friends. Rima's got a new brow company coming into Beverly Hills. So we'll tell you more about the launch date when that happens. But it was really exciting because I was there with, our Victoria Simone, associate producer Rachel McCord was there. So there's some fun behind the scenes on my Instagram at Jezlan, Jezlan, and we'll announce the big final photos in a couple weeks when they're out. I'm really excited.
I love it. I love it. Well, I was in prep for the full moon because I become a disaster during the full moon. Not going to lie, I'm one of those very emotional people around the full moon. So I meditated for an hour after dinner on Friday night. I did Kundalini both Friday and Saturday. I went to Agape, did a meditation before that. It was like full-on spiritual work in the middle of both sides of the red carpet this weekend because I get very emotional, which is a really good thing. We're going to get into it in a minute of how to reprogram and use those emotions during the full moon. But if I don't do that, it's not so pretty.
Well, it's good to at least set our intentions for the weekend. We had a great show on Friday, some very special guests. Let's take a look at the rewind. I'm so excited about what I'm doing, and I love it. Like the first few hours of my day are like really foggy until I have like 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups of coffee, and then I'm like, oh, now I'm functioning like my normal self.
You do.
The idea of working with an all-female company. Another woman is Marilena Borgna, who worked for Italian Vogue for over 25 years, and now she's really on board on our company. I'm really happy to be able to bring Italian flavor with Asian and Hollywood mixed together.
I mean, there's so many hosts who want the opportunity to go on red carpets and to be on the show, and I think that's been the most rewarding part for me, is to build this team, and I'm just so grateful that I have a good team of people around me and who want to be a part of this, because I feel like we're all in this together. And
let's change the restaurant, let's change the plan. But you should get into, if you're going on a date, you should get into a ritual, which is now you're going on a date, so you drop the bossy habit. You're not the boss. You get into a ritual where maybe you light candles as you get ready for the date.
You can say.
That's interesting.
And you switch gears that way.
Okay, here's actually a really funny story. I actually vision board being here recently.
Stop it!
And I'll tell you the in-touch story after that. But I want to get more into doing on-camera stuff because I work more in magazines. And so I was researching all the channels, and my phone is live streaming this right now, but I actually have on my phone a list of channels to reach out. And I did this last week, and this was one of them. And I actually followed you guys on Instagram like a week ago, being like, I want to manifest this. And it was a week, and now I'm here.
Wow.
That
powerful manifestor.
Yeah, really.
That Lindsay Hoffman, master manifester right there.
You gotta love when you're on somebody's vision board somewhere out there. That's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's very validating, isn't it? Unlike me, I built a vision board and burned it.
I broke mine with my knee, Jess.
There's that.
15 years ago. I've grown since then.
That's hilarious.
I haven't. Give it to the wind and the moon.
Oh my gosh. So speaking of Manifestation Monday, and it's a full moon tonight. And I think it's interesting because we've talked a lot about full moon, and people go, well, what do we do? How, what spiritually, what happens? Well, obviously we know it's not like some mystery that we're connected to the universe. Obviously we're 70% water, and we're affected by the moon, and we're emotional beings, and hence we're vibration. All of energy is vibration. So of course we're going to be affected by it, right? So it's interesting because actually the harvest moon we're at tonight is actually spiritually is the new year. So it's kind of off how we celebrate it during December. We're actually going to the dark. We're going into the dark. So it means, what are you going to harvest for the year? You always start within. So you always go within first before it manifests out into the light part of the year. So this is a really important moon. I think people think different moons. I think this is the most important full moon of the year. And the full moon is really to energize the emotions, and because that's how we reprogram the subconscious mind, is actually through emotion, through declaring with emotion and deciding what it is that you're really committed to. New moon is where you kind of go back from your emotions and you kind of take a bigger look, and you're able to kind of take a more of a logical mind type of an aspect of it. Full moon is more where you're getting and you're living in that embodiment of the emotions. So it's a time to clear out what isn't there. So you got to harvest out what weeds you don't want there and put in the seeds what you do want.
Love it. So what are you weeding and planting?
Woo! Ooh, that's a great question. I think that there's a lot of chaos always. I'm like a constant declutter person right now because of the social media. How do I manage it better? So it's like decluttering out and distinguishing aspects and parts of my day, chunking it, you could call it whatever it is, to make sure that I'm still on the things that we love, like social media, but we also take time to go out. Like I really am spending more time outside without like leaving my phone for the hour or two, going for a walk with nature, and just making sure that I'm getting connected.
Love that. Connect to nature, staying present.
Yep.
What about you, Jez? Were you eating anything, planting anything?
Well, it's really interesting. You know, I was having this conversation with a dear friend of mine yesterday, and really reflecting on the seeds that we've planted, right? Whether it's in the past year, or the past 5 years, or 10 years of your life, and really just having to trust and believe that if you plant those seeds in good soil, right? Those intentions for your future, for your relationships, for your career, whatever it might be, and you continue to water them without any expectation other than believing it will grow how it's meant to grow. It will blossom how it's meant to blossom. Because otherwise you can overwater this plant, you can fuss with it too much, and then you end up suffocating it, right? So for me, it's really just about like sitting back and knowing and trusting that if it's meant to be, it will be.
There you go. Seems to be a thing today. I love that.
I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So true.
One of my favorite quotes, and of course in miracles, is miracles aren't consciously directed. So I love that, Jez. It's a great sort of reminder to stay in the will of Source, Spirit, God, and let what's going to naturally and organically and authentically unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the universe has got it figured out way better than
Oh my
I
gosh,
did,
yeah.
right? Because you know, if it would have gone the way I wrote it, right, how I expected it, I wouldn't be where I am today. And this is so much bigger and so much better.
Yeah, well that's why they say you got to be careful what you pray for, because eventually you end up getting almost all of it, and a lot of it makes you unhappy. And so that's why for me, I've like sort of let that part go and said, hey, I want to just continue to show up, prioritize peace and happiness, and let whatever's going to unfold.
Right.
Because I've prayed for things before, and I've really pushed, and I've gotten them, and like, oh my gosh, why did I pray for that? You know, so it's important to remember that for me.
We have to remember that we are the universe. It may be a part of us that it's not that individual little me, the little me that is, you know, we think, but it is the I am. So we are the universe, and we do direct it. We implant, but whatever we want to manifest, but we allow the how. And so I think it's a confusion that, of course, you can just allow whatever an expression, but you have to remember that you have said peace. So peace is what you are manifesting. How that app pictures is the how, for sure.
Love.
Yeah, love that.
It's super interesting. I'll be sending my crystals out in the moon. I don't know what that does, but rumor has it I need to put my crystals outside. So
gotta cleanse them out. I'm going up to Nick Pigeon rented this beautiful, like seriously, a mansion for these women, her private clients. They've all flown in from UK, all over the world, and we're going up there. They're up there all week long doing intensives. I'm going up this afternoon for a 3-hour intensive on teaching them more about reprogramming their mind, talking about the full moon and doing all that. So really honored to do that.
Love it.
yeah. Well, I'm honored to speak to our guests today, so stay tuned. We've got some really exciting interviews when we return. Our mission is to inspire, enlighten, and entertain, and we have done that with the next issue of Focus magazine, and we are lovingly calling it the Romance Issue. I'm Jessica Moyer, the managing editor of Focus magazine, celebrating the people of Los Angeles from Malibu to Manhattan Beach and into West Hollywood who are making a difference here in LA. Gracing the cover is Ms. Tosca Mas. She is the co-founder of Passion Flicks. It's a new streaming service dedicated to passion. Also on the cover is Mr. Rob Mack Official, my co-host of Good Morning La La Land, a happiness expert who's got a great take on the language of love. Also on the cover, Ms. Lori Harder. She's released her new book, A Tribe Called Bliss, and she's talking all of the things about loving your tribe. We're also proud to feature Tracy Bregman from Mean Girl to Legend. You may remember her from Young and the Restless, and we're talking her journey in Hollywood. I'm also proud to announce that we have iconic matchmaker Carly Spindel's take on dating in modern romance. And for the love of television, we're also featuring Mr. Larry Namer. He was the co-founder of E! Entertainment, now president of the MeTown Entertainment Group. And we had a very special interview with him on my podcast, LA Unscripted. Also in this issue, we're featuring my dear friends, the Royals, Paris. Faye and Hisham, great designers from Paris, now in Beverly Hills. We're also excited to feature Cherie J. Wilson. You may recognize her as one of the femme fatales and quintessential American actresses from shows like Walker, Texas Ranger, Dallas, and now she's launching her own production company, Sandalphon Entertainment. And we are community powered here at Focus Magazine. We're proud to feature Michelle Gillette's contribution, Healthy Sexy Brains. We're also proud to feature how one community mother is taking on our mental health and school violence crisis with her company, Q Wonder. And social media superstar and model is wielding her influence. Focus is proud to feature Sarah McDaniel. And our Focus food editor, Tamby Safran, had the opportunity to interview Chef Seth Greenberg, who's taking on Beverly Hills with his new restaurant, Citizen. And this woman is reinventing pizza. We've got a great feature on Gail Becker, the founder of Cully Power, reinventing some of our favorite foods. And our Focus TV travel editor, Wendy Kretschmer, took an incredible trip to the newest Grand Vela seaside sanctuary on Mexico's Baja Peninsula. It's life, love, and the pursuit of romance in the current issue of Focus Magazine. Be sure to catch all the video interviews available on Focus TV Network and visit focusmag.us if you want to see the digital copy of this magazine. I'm Jasmine Moyer. We'll see you next time.
That.
I do. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. It's an absolute honor to welcome Deborah Alessi to the show. She is the founder of Face Forward International. Thank you so much for being here, for the work that you do.
Thank you so much for having me.
We know that you are an acclaimed businesswoman and you are not going to stop until you put the brakes on domestic violence. Right?
Absolutely.
Tell us about your personal journey with this.
I think, well, years ago, when I started Face Forward, I feel like Face Forward found me. And at that time, I didn't really realize why, but when I look back, I mean, I was a survivor of domestic violence. And then I think even like a couple of years, I realized I had more than one abusive relationship. So it was kind of a pattern in what I went through in life. So it made sense to start Face Forward, doing something an experience that I went through.
You're helping domestic violence and human trafficking. How did you decide exactly your expression within helping those communities?
Well, we did so well on domestic violence, helping survivors, and it just made sense to do something. The next step was human trafficking, because that's a major problem around the world right now.
Tell us about that.
Well, the cartel and other villains used to sell drugs, and now they sell people.
Wow.
So it makes more money a year than Netflix, Facebook, Yahoo together. So if they sell drugs, they sell it one time. They sell a human being, they can sell it over and over again.
It's awful.
And then we went to acts of crime, and then this year we're going to open the doors in a new division. One of our doctors is going to be spearheading that, and it's going to be veterans of war.
Wow.
So we do a little bit of everything now.
And we know that Face Forward is now working in the transgender community. We had the honor of seeing Caitlyn Jenner win the award.
Yes.
Tell us about your relationship with her and in that community.
Well, we had one of our first patients this year was a transgender, and it made perfect sense to reach out to Caitlyn and ask her for her help. And she did, and we're going to further that. I think there's going to be great things coming from it.
Absolutely.
What's been most helpful in getting the word and the awareness out around here?
Press, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys really make a difference. When we do something, I go on a TV show, we get so many requests from that. And then it's just spreading the word of what we do, because I believe we're the only charity in the world that's providing the therapy, flying the patients here, taking care of all of that. So even though our doctors donate their time, we still have to raise a lot of money for the airfare and accommodation, anesthesiologists, operating room costs. And like one surgery for materials can cost Face Forward $10,000. Wow. And most of our patients need 10 surgeries.
Wow, 10.
Yeah.
It's incredible the community of doctors have, and the co-founder, Dr. David Alessi, is actively providing these surgeries pro bono.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and I have a few great doctors that donate their time. And they give 100% of their heart.
We heard the story of one of the gentlemen, I think it was his sister-in-law, was driving down the freeway, and some teen kids decided it'd be funny to drop some acid off the top of the bridge, and it went onto her windshield, broke, and went all over her face. I mean, these are incredible stories that you don't really even, you can't even believe it's reality. There's so many people we saw at the event that have clearly been your patients that are thriving and doing well. What are some of the stories that have been the most touching to you?
Andreas was there on Saturday, a gentleman from London, and he opened his door on Christmas Eve and he thought it was carol singers, and it was the wrong, mistaken identity, it was the wrong home. So someone threw a gallon of acid over him, and he lost everything in a moment. I mean, he was on life support for 6 weeks. But he's the most positive human being I think I've ever met. And he's just said he's glad it happened to him and not his wife or his child. And just his energy, his positivity, and he said he feels like he was chosen for this to happen to him because it's brought his family closer.
Where was that?
In London.
What?
In London. And the thing is, I mean, he's had surgery in National Health, but by the time he waits for the next surgery to come through, it can take a year, it can take 2 years, but that time there's more scars set in. And Andreas has probably had 20 surgeries, but 3 with us so far. And we'll continue to work with him through the years.
It was an incredible moment when we saw Sarah Gilbert introduce an incredible new artist, Will, and she had this song, Scars.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, first of all, voice of an angel. My God, what talent she was. But then we saw some of the men and women who have received services and surgeries from your foundation take the stage, arm in arm with the doctors.
Yeah.
A powerful moment to see the difference that your foundation lives. How did that make you feel?
It's incredible. Someone walks in the door at Face Forward, their head is always, they feel almost ashamed. And when they leave, it's the light in them. You can see a shine and their confidence, and they're just ready to take on the world. You know, some of our patients have had master degrees now and going to law school. And Face Forward just doesn't give you the fish, we give you the fishing rod, which means that we want you to be independent. We want you to do something great with your life. We want you to make a change.
Wow. You know what's interesting about you too is that I think your consciousness is so abundant because not only are you, I mean, look, you have beautiful jewelry, beautiful life. This gala was over the top, and I think it's okay. I think there's a message there to think we can have an abundant life, we can have wealth and wealth of friends and everything, and we can give back. And I think that people don't see that in Hollywood. We see the limelight, we see the gossip, we see kind of the chaos, but there's so many extraordinary people in Hollywood doing good things. What has been your experience in the community here?
For me personally, I think they think I do Face Forward because I'm married to a plastic surgeon. And it's not the case. It's really because I've had an experience, not what our patients have gone through, but I've had an experience. And to see, I mean, Saturday night, that room was, the reason it was beautiful was because of sponsors. So we work hard all year to make people come together. You know, like Square Root did amazing things with the venue and how they put it together. And they donated 60% of what that room was.
And man, they did a good job. Those centerpieces with the huge red roses, and they were
the
draping
hanging baskets
over.
From it. It was incredible.
It was really well done.
And you know, everyone in that room had, the lighting was donated. This was donated. That was donated. So
the bouquet bar boxes.
And so people say, oh my God, did you spend? No, I did not spend money on this, but we have amazing people that want our guests to leave and remember Face Forward.
And you raised money, over $500,000 that will go to give back. Tell us about how the funds will be allocated that you were able to raise for the cause.
So it's going to help, obviously, new patients. My goal is to continue throughout the year to obviously make more and more money. And I'm hoping by maybe the next 2-3 years, we can have a home in Los Angeles where we can house 6 patients at one time and bring patients in, do the therapy, have everything under one door. That would be our dream in the next few years.
So tell people how they can contribute and give back to your
go to our website. We also need volunteers. We're always looking for board members, committee members. Celebs can always do T-shirt campaigns. Just help us get awareness and create funding.
Such an inspiration.
And without sponsors, without board members, without volunteers, Face Forward wouldn't exist. So even though I donate my time, my husband donates his time, it doesn't make a difference. We need the funds.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of your amazing work. Have a beautiful, we will be right back. I don't know what to say, I'm speechless. So it's really touching, honestly.
Really Stay tuned, we'll be back with more. Good morning, La La Land.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm your associate producer of the Focus TV network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network, but you already knew that. And I got my girl with me,
Jez Moye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV network, we had the Renwood Show. On Purpose with Brittany Zonker, we had
the incredible actor Reggie Watkins.
On the LA Home Show with our host Natasha Phillips
was broker extraordinaire Amy Kane.
Yes. On Eyes Up Here with Lindsay Palis, we had
the actress Shai Fontanette.
On Naked Chats with Josh Murray, we had
Sheena Marie from Vanderpump Rules.
Yes, we're also so excited to announce the newest issue of Focus magazine.
And we are lovingly calling it the Romance Issue. We're proud to feature Ms. Tosca Musk on the cover, along with Focus TV family Rob Mack official.
Yes,
and
our guy,
Lori Harder.
So, speaking of Rob Mack, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, Jeslyn Moye, there was a very busy week at Good Morning La La Land. Who was on the show?
It was a great week in La La Land. On the show, we had two-time Emmy Award-winning producer and actor, Eddie Perez.
Yes.
We also had dating expert Laurel House.
What?
She co-hosts the hashtag Man Whisperer with Rob Mack.
With Rob Mack.
We were really excited to talk tennis with Carrie Lynn. And all the way from Orange County, Rachel Savoda.
Wes Gear was actually here repping his Rock to Recovery event.
And Focus TV with Good Morning La La Land was on the red carpet to promote Rock to Recovery 3. We talked to Drew Carey, Jeremy Jackson, Kira Reed-Lorsch was there. Let's take a look at the concert.
Let me hear you say, hell yeah! Say, hell yeah! Ready for the F-bomb? Say, fuck yeah! Now scream! I love you guys. Let's do this.
So much fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning into This Week in Focus. I'm Victoria Simone.
And I'm Jessica Moye. Don't miss the new issue of Focus magazine.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. Nothing like a little laughter to bring in the Monday morning with Stephen Kramer Glickman, who is a stand-up comedian and promoting Family Film Award. We're going to be working with you on Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's a Family Film Awards. I'm very excited. I'm looking at myself on the camera now. I don't know if this sweater was a good idea.
I will say that was a great idea. Was you as the Bob Big Boy? I can't get over
right
that.
here? Yeah, this is it's me as you can't really see it, but there it is. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's me as Bob's Big Boy, but I have a donut. Because our podcast has been sponsored by Krispy Kreme Donuts for a really long time, so we give out donuts to our audience at our shows, and it's really fun.
We're coming on the show
you
for
forgot
sure.
the donuts.
I did. I should have brought you guys down. See, when you look at me in this sweater right now, I look like I should be coaching like a Russian gymnastics team. I'm like, Anastasia, put it together, Anastasia. They just went. I didn't even notice that till I saw myself on camera.
So you're hosting the Family Film
Yeah,
Awards
me
on
and 3 other wonderful comedians, Mike Black, Matt Walker, and Mike Glazer. We all host the Nighttime Show podcast, and our podcast was chosen to host the show. So we wrote the show, and I don't know why they trusted us.
I hope you wrote
it's a very
us
dangerous
in some
idea.
pretty funny parts. Because
We did.
Good. We're going to be presenting 2 of the awards. We're really excited to be a part of this.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys. This is a great show, so I'm happy to be a part of it. And have you guys be a part of our show and be on your show. It's a great situation. Synchronicity. This is synchronicity. Is that
mutually beneficial? Love that.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it tough working with other comedians because you always want to up each other? Or no?
No, I mean, that's what comedians do mostly is we all work together. So we all, it takes you know, to team up though, to have like a good team. It takes time and focus to find like the right guys. Like one of the guys I've been friends with, Matt, is one of the best and one of the worst people I know. He's like a mix between both.
The best of both worlds.
Says horrible things. He's always very, very truthful and funny. But I love and adore that guy. And we've known each other for about 14 years, 15 years. And then Mike and I have known each other for quite a long time too, about 10 years. And then Mr. Glazer, who was nominated for an Emmy this year for Night of Too Many Stars.
Wow.
For writing on that. Like, we've known each other for about 4 years. So having like, you know, pulling like a grouping together of like a lot of real fun comedians and getting to play with them is a blast.
Right. Yeah. So tell us a little bit. I want you to give us a little like tips on like someone who's not funny at all, but like there's some little hacks.
You guys are very funny. This is
like play off and like how you did that beginning, like you play off the song that just came in.
Sure.
And like, come on, give us a few little tips.
Okay, well, like you know, I think first of all, I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
Well, specific. Be specific. Like, what specific?
Come on, there
what
must
can
be
I help
some
you with?
type of like little tips and keys.
Oh,
for being
I
funny.
think you know, to be funny, especially in an award show, you should take it very, very seriously when it comes. You should take it very seriously when it comes to older celebrities. Like you shouldn't like make jokes about older celebrities that are like, give them the respect. But the younger people, I think you can poke fun a little bit.
We can roast them all day.
You can roast the younger people all day. But the older
you can make
people,
fun of yourself, but you can't make fun of
I think with the
people.
older people, we're making fun of the category that they're presenting. You know, like this woman is one of the greatest stars of our of the 1950s and 60s. She's starred opposite Julie Andrews, and she you know, won an Oscar, and here to present best web series. You know, like just something like you know like you
the
can,
irony.
You can make fun of the category when it comes to, I think, more famous people, but with the younger people, I think you can kind of poke fun at them.
I love it.
When did you discover that you were truly a comedian? Obviously, Last Comic Standing, and you've had a great run here in Hollywood.
Sure.
But I mean, were you always the funny guy?
Well, I was the no. I was the guy who was trying really hard. Like I would try real hard to make people laugh. Growing up, it did not work quite well. But probably when I like started doing stand-up. I started doing stand-up when I was about like 25, 26 years old, and it was because I had like a couple jokes that were a little offensive. You know, but they were funny. And I said a couple of them to a girl I was dating, and she hated them. And I was like, oh, so then they're definitely funny.
Right. She hates them.
Then I was like, then this is gonna do great. And so once I figured out what the gauge was of like, you know, if I told a joke to my mom and she was like, oh, Steven, if she made that noise, oh no, what's the matter with, why would you, then I would go, oh, that's gonna
be gold.
That's gonna be kill. And if she really loved it, then maybe it would do okay. But, you know, like, I think around 25 years old was when I started figuring out what was gonna work and what type of comedian, you know, I wanted to be too.
Was there any point that you wanted to give up on any of it?
No.
No. You always knew that you were going to do it.
No, there's nothing else I can do. Yeah. I can't. I mean,
you could be the Russian gymnast.
I could be.
Right. Well, you've
Anastasia, do a backflip. I know. If I wasn't, I've always had to work in some aspect of entertainment and comedy because I'm bad at math, but I'm good at a lot. I'm good at the things I'm good at. I'm very good at the things that I'm not good at. I'm terrible at.
So my litmus test for what a good comedian is if they don't have to bring in sex or fart jokes or whatever. How do you put that line in it for the Family Film
Sex
Awards?
or fart? You can't. What?
If they can do that, then they can be funny. If they don't have to go there, then they're really funny.
Look, anything can be funny.
At the Family Film Award, how do you put that line in the
the
sand?
Family Film Awards, that's a different story. This is family-based. award show that focuses on entertainment that is valuable to families and to kids and stuff like this. But when it comes to stand-up comedy, I think if it's funny, it's funny. Like if it wins,
you can
it
do
wins.
whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you watch any great comedy, even like Bridesmaids, like one of my favorite comedies. Like you watch the way through that movie, there's like there are like real easy sex jokes and fart jokes, but there are also really well crafted, very funny, character-driven stuff too. So I think there's room for everything in comedy. I think
we love it. Everybody loves a good laugh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about some of the projects you're working on right now.
Oh well, I'm working on a couple different things. I have a TV show that I wrote, a pilot I wrote, and it's being sent around the. I don't know what this is. I don't know what motion this is, but it's being sent around to shop cart. People are reading it. And we have some good things, and that's all. I wrote a pilot about my childhood, about being a teenager. And,
Steve!
Oh no! So that's been really fun. And then I was in a documentary called Dying Laughing with Jerry Seinfeld and Jay Fox and Kevin Hart.
Never heard of those guys.
They're newbies. Yeah. They're real newbies. But Showtime picked that up and had that on Showtime, and then we shot the TV show version of Dying Laughing, which also has Gary Shandling. It's like his last thing that he ever did, and all sorts of Jerry Lewis, all sorts of wonderful people. So that's been shot. I shot like 4 or 5 episodes of that show, and that'll come out near the end of the year. And this is it's a fun it's a fun business. Yeah, serious comedy. Serious business.
This comedy.
Yeah, it really is. Doing lots of serious business. And then my nighttime show podcast I've been doing now for 3 years at the Hollywood Improv on Melrose here in Los Angeles, a couple blocks away from here. And we just did it this past weekend with Fred Willard and Carney Wilson from Wilson Phillips, and Deep Roy, who played Yoda in Star Wars, which is amazing. Yeah. And all sorts of other amazing people were on the show. Sean Jabroni is Adam Goldberg on the Goldbergs. And Jim Cummings, who played Winnie the Pooh, who's been playing Winnie the Pooh for like 30 years. Wow. So we had this big packed night this past Saturday.
That's quite the roundup of guests.
Right?
I mean,
on
from
one show.
Break free from the chains to Winnie the Pooh. I mean, like.
Full spectrum.
We made Carney Wilson sing.
Did you?
Well, we made the this is how I feel comedy works, right? Is we wanted Carney Wilson to sing someday somebody gonna
make you turn around and say goodbye. Yeah.
Till that baby. Oh, you go.
Make you cry.
There you go,
yeah,
Jess.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to have her sing that. That's classic to have her do that. But at the same time, you don't want to just flat out ask her in front of an audience to sing the song. Yeah. That's a little weird. Hey, sing the song you're famous to sing. Right? So what we did, which I thought would be like a fun thing that she didn't know about. She didn't know we were going to do this. Is we did a regular interview. We had her ask her real questions about her life.
Very serious.
Very serious interview. She talked very seriously about her father, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. She told all sorts of really interesting stuff about him and addiction and all this stuff. And it got very heavy, and you could feel the whole room. And when that room was getting really heavy, we had a guy planted in the audience, and he went, "I have a question. Carney Wilson, will you sing a song?" And then I yelled at him and was like, "What is the matter with you? Why would you ask a question like that? She's a very serious. This is a serious. We're having a serious conversation. You don't ask this woman." And as I'm doing this, I had them pull up the karaoke for her song. Hold On for One More Day. Yeah. So that starts playing while I'm yelling at the guy, and then I started singing and made the audience sing, and then Carney Wilson sang along with us, and it was great. Like, it was great, but it was like, it all felt real until it was happening, and then she was like, "What did just happen? You just tricked me into singing a song."
Well done.
Yeah, I really like. We had Milana Weintraub on the show, who's the AT&T spokesperson. a couple months ago, and all we wanted to do was talk to her about AT&T. But she doesn't want to talk about AT&T. She probably would talk about it, but she doesn't really want to. So we planted a guy in the audience and had him just ask questions about his phone bill. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun because then you're getting to do the joke, but without really bothering them. You're just making it fun.
And then you don't have to take the blame.
You don't have to take the blame. It's not my fault. It's that guy's fault that I hired to put in the audience.
Right. Exactly. It's working for me, but
So
it's
good.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for keeping us laughing because we all need a little bit of laughter.
Well, yeah,
especially during the full moon. I need a little laughter.
Oh yeah, the full moon.
Do you feel the full moon ever?
I feel all the things. Oh sure, the moon. This is half werewolf at this point.
Blame it on the harvest moon.
I'm clean shaven, full head of hair, and then it just all goes away and all pops out.
Just during the full moon.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a crazy time in the world, and people wake up every day, and there's, we were talking about it on the drive here. I was talking with my publicist on the way here. You're driving in the car, and the news is popping up, and it's. The president every day posts something every morning. It's not like he doesn't take like a day off. It's like every morning there's like a Lindsay Lohan's going to be Secretary of State. You're like, what is happening? Why did you write that? Every day, every day.
Well, now it's like you can't take a break. Yeah.
Like I to go golfing more. I never want to be like, just give us a couple days. Give us a few days.
Let us catch up.
Oh God! Like let us process one thing before it's
Well, we could laugh with you all day long, but we're so excited for Thursday.
Look, can't wait to have you.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
Please, go to thefamilyfilmawards.com. Go get tickets for the Family Film Awards, and we're going to be hosting it. And these wonderful people are going to be there. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have lots of laughs. And then you can always get me on Twitter at Stephen Glickman, STPHEN Glickman, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. All places.
All the things.
All the things.
I'm coming just for the donuts.
Moon.
I'm coming just for the donuts.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land. A Long Time, your new single, produced by Pooh Bear.
Yes.
Works with the bees.
Yes,
I know this is massive.
It is, yeah. I was so amazed because I actually wrote a song about Justin Bieber in my previous album, and suddenly, Pooh Bear comes along, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I gotta meet Justin. This is fate, this is destiny right here. So yeah, it was an amazing experience working with him. He's super talented, he's so humble, he's so down to earth, and it was just a blast working with him. I'm living the best life. I have great parents, I have such good friends, I have a dream, I have my music, I have my friends, so I think I'm really happy.
Welcome back to Purpose. I am your host, Brittany Zonker. I am flying with Andrew Seeley, the acro yoga instructor. This is insane, guys. I've been like this for like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Yeah, I'm just hanging out.
It feels like you should do this every day to me.
You can set up some sessions.
This feels amazing.
Yeah.
You guys, if you want to train with Andrew Seeley, all you have to do is look him up on Instagram. He is absolutely incredible. I've had an amazing time interviewing Mr. Seeley today. He teaches all over the world. He will help your body, mind, and your soul find your purpose. For this episode of Purpose, I'm your host, Brittany Zonker. I'll see you next time.
I mean, you have been a host and much more than that for many, many years. Any tips you can give us?
You start early in the morning here, so as long as you have somebody who picks up the speed for you, it's kind of like any relationship, right? Like someone has to have your back. Like if they know you're not knowing where the next camera is, the next question, as long as you're in tune with each other. But I think your show is incredible, and I'm so thrilled that I could be a part of it today. But more than that, it is about saying, hey, you know what, we need to impact change. What is the one little way in our own world that we can impact change? And whether it's you guys interviewing certain people, bringing awareness to topics, this is what needs to happen because we've all woken up and we know what the future is if we keep going down this path.
I know that the calling and the purpose is so much greater than me trying to get my hair right, to go to the right carpet and whatever. I got to keep up because the purpose is so great.
Welcome back to Manifestation Monday. No better way to start with a coach, an extraordinary coach. Tanya Stewart is an Alpha Life Success Coach. What is that?
Thank you for asking. So I'm an alpha. You're an alpha. You're an alpha.
Okay.
And everybody who's watching this show, yes, we're alpha.
We know that.
I help alpha women. These are amazing, strong women. Their outside tends to be very strong, but a lot of times us alphas are messy on our inside. We're soft.
I'm a hot mess, gotta say. Just kidding.
And so I help them reverse that, because you really want to be soft on your outside, strong, and have a core of steel on your inside.
Oh, powerful.
Nailed it.
Love
When you flip that, that changes your life. Alphas mess up their relationships because of that. I mean, we're very inaccessible to most people. They love us in a crisis because we're planners, we're crisis managers, we're amazing analyzers, we're super independent. So if something's messing up, they just throw an alpha at it. They're like, there's an over there, and we fix it. So we're fixers. But with men, we fix you too. We just get in there, we start fixing.
I don't fix, man.
I'm done fixing. I went through that phase. I've evolved through that one. Thank goodness.
Isn't that funny?
I'm not, though, but that's really interesting. I never really understood why that was, or why I was attracting what I am in my life, whether that's with men in relationships or friendships in my career. I get thrown at the things to fix because I'm so strong on the outside, but inside, man, I am messy.
It's funny. It's you talked about the cycles. Alphas have a life cycle. So first we fight. So we go in and we try to fight with people. We're going to force it to be the way. We engineer things. And then in our second cycle, we do control. So we try to convince people. And the way we do that is we try to buy the affection by fixing everything for everybody. We're rescuers.
This one's good.
And we never get our stuff done. So you don't write your book, you don't do your movie because your niece is in trouble, your neighbor needs something, your husband needs something, and that's the excuse.
Absolutely. I feel like I get so much done in a day and I get nothing done for myself.
There it is.
Ever.
There it is.
So how do you turn that around?
Oh, you know what's funny is it's the thing alphas don't want to do. It's the foundation work. So people don't like to hear it, but it's the self-love, self-trust, and self-worth. Because when you don't give it to you first, you actually can't get it from other people. Even though you're trying to buy it, it just doesn't work.
Totally. So where do people start with that? So how would they start building the self-worth, the self-love?
I start with 3 pillars. So I have massive truth, massive action, then massive transformation. Alphas like to start with massive action. So in that masculine energy, very much like I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in there, but you actually have to start with the truth. So you have to tell yourself, what are the patterns that you keep repeating? So if you look, you'll see that you have messes that continually pop up. You do one thing the way you do everything. So if you find and spot those patterns, and your best friend knows what they are, by the way. If she'll tell you, she can tell you the patterns that you keep repeating. That's where you start.
It's really interesting you're saying this, because I actually had someone gave me as a birthday present this life. It's based on I Ching and on your birthing chart.
Yes.
And it's really about your DNA and how we come in at every life is different. We come in a different DNA, but there's an actual like kind of mathematical equation, and so you get to like play out that role in this lifetime, if you will. And it said I'm a fixer, but and it was a good thing because when you go past fixing, you go to it was peace. Like so, you're fixing to bring peace to the world, but it feels like fixing and controlling. But when you evolve, it goes to peace. So this is kind of what you're trying to shift that alpha to have it be working for you. Like the power can be working. If you use it for like kind of to control, it's not a good thing, but when you use it power for good. So how do you help women when they're taking that control and they're using it to make a difference in the world? How do you help them with their branding and taking them all through that? What do you do?
So I do the business coaching, but what I found is I couldn't coach somebody's business until I coached the person. So I could give you $1 million idea, they couldn't execute it because they've got all this stuff inside of them, and that's what's out picturing in their world. So the first thing I tell someone to do is you have no business trying to save the world if you haven't saved you.
Ooh.
You can't.
Repeat
Everybody
that.
wants to do that. Don't try to save the world if you haven't saved you.
So true.
And so often it's a surrogacy thing. It's, okay, I want to rescue enough people and then I've earned enough credit because alphas like to buy love, then someone will come rescue me. So I really get them into the truth of that. And I'm pretty aggressive with that because alphas like it hard and dry. They don't do the soft versions. And once we do that, then we can start moving into, it's funny you said it, the final cycle is surrender. So it's fight, control, surrender. And that's where you start getting peace. That's when you start allowing things to flow. You actually trust that things will come to you that you didn't arrange.
Such a good point, because it's one of the discoveries I had, or realizations I had early in my life, where I would try to control everything from an action perspective, and then over time I took on a more, it's like sort of spiritual mask, I suppose. And then I was trying to control those same things, but I was just trying to do it through spirituality. And I'm like, this is just control one step removed from action, quote unquote. So I love what you're saying there, because I think there's incredible power in surrender. And I think there are incredible things that happen, even better things than I could possibly imagine when I'm in that place of surrender.
You said, that's just brilliant. Almost all the amazing things that have happened to you in your life, you actually didn't arrange. If you really stop and if you made a list, you would find that most of the amazing things, the things that changed your life, the relationships, the opportunities, you didn't have a checklist and say, I'm going to go to the grocery store, turn the corner, and meet the love of my life. You can't do it that way. So when you realize that, you really want to get out of the business of trying to orchestrate for the universe. I call it resigning as the general manager of their universe. So it's powerful to do it that way.
So interesting you said that, because I met Erin that way. And then I met Jeslyn this way, and then this show kind of happened for me that way.
Because of this.
Yeah. I had no intention for it to do any TV. It's happened sometimes, but I've never had the real intention to do any of it.
That's source coming right through you. So hard for alphas to lean back and let that happen. Usually in our family of origins, there was usually an emotional thing that caused a breach of trust. So the core abandonment wound for alphas is abandonment. We're so worried that somebody is going to leave us, so that's why all the rescuing. You see, if I rescue you enough and take care of you, then you'll love me and you won't leave me.
And then you'll save me.
Bingo, that's exactly it. Everybody's just trying to barter. So when you get out of barter as a way to get your love, when you build yourself up enough, you don't need something from you, and then you're magnetic. Because if I don't need anything from you, you feel so safe with me.
Yeah, just love that. How did you get here?
Oh my goodness. I got here through an amazing friend, and see, that's one of those things, like, I couldn't have arranged it. I do global summits, and somebody said, hey, you know what? You should take a look at this woman. She contacts me and she says, I don't know if you've met me. And I sent her a picture holding up her book. I was like, yeah, I think maybe I know you, Elle.
We love
I know you, Elle.
Special thanks to Elle.
She's everywhere.
She's everywhere.
She's everywhere.
She's like a Visa card.
She is like a Visa card.
You're
right.
Yeah,
That's
look around.
great.
There she is.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you want to know a secret? I'll tell the world. Elle and I are like twins. I used to tell people that if you don't like me this way, you're doomed, because I don't come like in another color. I do. In like white and small now. So she comes in like large and black now. So and we're on opposite sides of the country. So we've pretty much got the country covered.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I love that.
I love that so much.
So fantastic.
That's special.
I feel loved.
So what are you most looking forward to now with your work? And
Right now, I'm actually changing directions. It's kind of neat because my background is a divorce lawyer. So 20 years as a divorce lawyer. And so I help people through high conflict divorces. And now I'm really going to be focusing on getting people, either preventing the breakdown of those marriages, getting people through them, helping them recover. Because people don't realize it, but divorce damages you. You can't just remove the person. There's people, you don't talk to people who they're telling you about their divorce and you're like, was it a week ago? And they're like, it was 7 years ago.
Totally.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's still fresh and
You
raw.
still kind of hate him, right? Yeah, you do. So I'm helping people get through that, to change their life. And alphas like to do stuff fast. So we're impatient. So I'm working on that timetable. It's like 6 months, let's get this done.
Love that.
And then I'm mad if it's not done.
That's exactly right.
Oh, yeah.
We're pushed. We're directors. It's really good if we're in a business project. Our masculine energy is good there. In relationships, like I said, it causes a little bit of a conflict because we have that driving agenda.
You have any tips for people that are challenged to and have faith that they can achieve more, better, faster, more enjoyably through surrender? Because I think that's the greatest challenge, right? It's like everybody wants to surrender on some level, but they're really afraid that if they let go of control, everything is going to become a complete mess.
Absolutely. It'll seem actually really simplistic, but it works. You've got to start small, because you do one thing the way you do everything. So do not start in the area that you're most challenged with. If you're having a struggle with relationships, leave that completely alone and go to somewhere where you feel mastery, and then start surrendering something there. So if you're an extremely fit person, start surrendering like how you do your workout routine. You know, you don't have to smith it and edge it and force it. You can trust yourself. Your body actually knows. It has a rhythm. So when you find your surrender in areas that you're not as challenged in and do it in small ways, it transfers to your harder area.
Just love that. It's incredible. I'll never remember exactly the words that Bruce Lee used, but he basically said that, you know, he was an incredible fighter, right? And he said that he wanted to become like water, that was sort of the metaphor that he would use, because water is so soft, and it's flexible and it adapts to whatever circumstance or condition it's in, and yet at the same time, that water that can become like a teacup can also carve a canyon.
Yes.
Right?
Water is so powerful. And see, it's an excellent thing for when you're talking about masculine and feminine energy. The water is your feminine energy, and the masculine is like the riverbanks. So alphas tend to be, they're very structured, they have the riverbanks, but they don't know how to flow well. And when you get somebody in a relationship, you want to have both parts of the relationship. You want to have the structure of the riverbanks, and you want to have the flow. And when you have that, it's juicy. Everything's alive.
So just curious, because I don't know what your background is as far as when you say alpha, are you referring to psychology? I mean, is there just other, what would be not alpha?
What would be, you know what's funny is the people who are not alpha tend to be people who are not aggressive, driven, motivated, make it happen, push. These are very more people who are willing to let people take care of them. So if you will, I kind of divide the world into 80-20, and you have what I call, producers, and then you have the people who are taken care of. Your alphas are always going to be in the producer herd. We're always going to be creating something, making something, driving something, and we are not content to just sit back what we get.
Got it. Just was trying to clarify what the language around it was. Thank you so much. Incredible work, and I think it's important for just everyone, not just women, but all of us to figure out and navigate how to, make our dreams come true, but surrender, and then also deal with other people. It's a mastery that's lifetimes long. So thank you so much for the assistance for all of us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Where can people find and work with you?
People can find me at fearlessfocuscoaching.com, and they can also find me all over the internet at Alpha Women Coach. That's women with an E. So I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, fearlessfocuscoaching.com. I'll see you soon.
And you can find the blonde version of here in this book, The Paleo Thyroid Solution by L. Russ. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
For you, in this moment, what feels most true to you?
The three of you. Really grounded and present, and honored to be sitting with other like-minded individuals. I think that it's so important with everything that's going on in the world that this is our now, that this is hopefully the future. And because of the experience with certain things on TV in the past, it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to watch, and it's heartbreaking to see other people go through it. And people out there watching it don't really understand what it does to your psyche and to your heart. It's just tragic. And so I think what you guys are doing here is absolutely just a gift.
This is my sanity.
I can see that.
There's so much insanity in my life and uncertainty. This is my truth.
I have a hard time saying no to. One is a boy in a band, and the second is a Snickers bar. So I wrote a song about both.
I hear you, sister.
Chasing you down like an ice cream truck. Every damn time that my phone lights up, I'll be salivating at the sound of what's up. Yo, what's up? Boy, you're delicious. It's too bad you ain't nutritious. When you say my name, it's like candy. When you kiss my lips, it's like candy. You're no good for me, you're like candy. You're like candy, hey.
Oh, thank you guys.
Love addiction. I hear it. Wow.
Do you guys want to be my backup?
I was like, okay, you guys, come on. We need to get vulnerable here.
Totally. I think it's okay to pepper it in, and I love beautiful content, and I've always been a fan of putting out really quality content, but at the same time, I think that it's really important for my industry to tell their story. The mission has definitely been to inspire women to be the best version of themselves and kind of be an example and a role model for a lot of girls that are reading my blog. But
what's been the biggest challenge for you in doing this, in building this business?
Ooh, the biggest challenge, I think, is how consistent you really have to be. So what I've had to do is learn that I'm like a cell phone. I have 100% charge, and it goes down to 1%. And when it's down there, I need to step back, recharge. The consistency of creating content, it can be a lot, but I think I love it. And
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I'm so excited to welcome Teddy Lane Jr. to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
awesome.
Thank you so
So
much.
amazing
I was going
to
to
meet
get
you.
do the bump.
Keep
From Oakland, I'm going to keep it real. I'm just going to. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And, you know, special thanks to Danny for the introduction.
Yes, my friend Danny. I've known Danny for, he hates I tell people this, I've known Danny for years. He's my buddy. We go way back, and he's a good guy. He hates me to tell him the year thing. I'm like, dude, we've known each other. It's a good thing. It is. I don't want to know my age. Don't tell him my age. Now, I ain't gonna tell him your age. That's why we've known each other for years.
Yeah, years could be.
So you've been in. You're like you've been in the biz for some time. You're funny. You got all. You are like very talented.
Thank you.
We want to know where did it all begin for you.
You know what? I was thinking about this. I was back in Oakland. I don't know if you remember these. It's probably before your time. They had these tape players, just cassettes.
No, but I've heard of them.
You know,
I heard of the tape players.
At the Smithsonian, they have a tape player. You put it in there, and we used to play with that tape player. And I'm doing stuff now. My sister goes, "You doing the stuff you did when we were kids?" I was like, "You're right." But it's better now. Dude, I practice now. Before I didn't practice, I was like, so I just started then entertaining, and I was a fat little kid, and you know, but I didn't know it. I just thought everything I did was funny, but I think they were laughing at my weight.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
It was, you know, I think that started then, you know, growing up there, and just, I like to make people laugh. I like to entertain them or move them, even if it's not laughing. They're like something they believed you, just. Yeah, moving with something. I think that started back then.
I think human beings, we all have the desire to have an effect on people. Are you having the effect that you really want to have? Have you had that feeling like, ooh,
you know,
right?
Funny you mention that. I do now. I started doing stand-up 3 years ago. I was doing the acting. I love acting since '93, and the stand-up has made my acting better, but I don't notice it until someone tapes it and I watch it later on. Because when you're on stage, it's like when I was playing football. You don't really hear the audience, or running track. You don't hear them until later on you're playing like, wow, they really like that part. Let me work on that. Let me move this around or take that out. They weren't laughing. But later on you play it, you're like, oh, wow, kind of funny. I try to look at it like it's not me. That's why I try to do things. I write it down. Okay, if somebody else says this, what I laugh. Yeah, that's funny. And now I'm trying to do clean comedy. That's a whole,
I told you, right?
It's a whole
It's
challenge.
a whole
It's my wife. I started with my friends. Let me be careful, because you know what's playing in the back of my head? Yeah. My mom's like, don't tell everything about yourself in the first 2 minutes. And so I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to listen to you guys. Listen to people. Don't just talk.
Well, your role is here to talk.
Okay,
so
when you're interviewed,
you're a safe space, I promise.
But there was a certain reason that Danny is the studio. He sent an email and introduced us, and he said, you know, Teddy would be the perfect person for the show, because he's used meditation, he's used manifestation, he uses visualization to build this career that you've done so successfully. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Thank you for getting me back on track, because I was like, in high school, I took a course, and it was about positive visualization. It was deep.
Wow.
And I did it when I was playing football. They said you could do it when you take tests. Just close your eyes and, you know, take a deep breaths, calm down and see yourself doing the thing you want to do. And man, it worked. I did it when I was playing football, and I did these moves in my head. And I was, I'm gonna do this now. I play running back. So I'm like, and then the next day I did it, and I was sitting in there in my helmet. I took my helmet off. I was like, wow, that really worked. And so I started just, I don't know, no matter how negative the room may be when you go, because the world kind of thrives off negativity. That's what my coach told me years ago, and it's true. They don't care about all this stuff, but if you fumble once, you did all these yards, you did all this stuff, you fumble once on the goal line, that's what they remember. Yeah. Dude, you let us down. What happened, man? You used to be good. But I like that positive visualization stuff with anything. I tell my son that. He looks at me, I know, Daddy. You said it, positive visualization. He goes, I know. I said, buddy, I know, Daddy. You were fat when you were younger. Yeah, I said, okay, all right, man, I'm telling you, I'm just trying to help you. Let's work out. He's like, but it really, it helps me. It helps to light the room up too, and it just so no matter how negative they are, you just kind of come in there and just be real and have fun. If I forget anything, I'll do all my rehearsing. Then I just go, Teddy, just have fun, like your coach said. Just have fun, and people have fun watching you. Whether you're cooking, playing a guitar, whatever art form you're doing, they tend to enjoy themselves, and that's the thing. So, but
what's been the toughest part of your journey so far?
Glad you said that. Wow, you don't get everything. No matter how hard you work, man, I gotta be real, it cuts deep. You go read for something. You know the tough part when I'm driving through town, and I'll see a bus go by or a billboard. Read for that. I read for that. You see for that. Yeah. They call me back twice. Stop towing my emotions. We love you. You were great. So that really hurts. But I tell myself, you know, you only have control over what you can do. Just go in there, be real. have fun, and you're not reading to get that part, Teddy. You're reading to get in their heart because they're always working on something else.
Oh, wow.
I've gotten a lot of roles after reading for The Shield. Reading for 2 years, I'm going, man, I'm going to the bum and all these different characters and not getting it and going home and going through the whole ritual. Why, God? Why? Why are you doing this? Why do you persecute me? I ain't thinking about something about people that's, you know, suffering in the world. No, me. But, you know, you just keep going and
it's so funny. You identify such an interesting principle, and I discovered that like Jez and I both modeled for a while. And I remember when I was modeling. Oh yeah,
I saw that. That should be mine.
And it's so interesting because I would always wonder, like the models that would seem to book most consistently weren't always, of course, the most attractive or the ones that always seemed perfect for their parts, but they were the ones that seemed like they had the least needy or desperate energy. I remember that.
Heard that.
And because they didn't, a lot of them didn't even depend on the modeling to pay their bills. They had some other way of making money, or they were trust fund kids or whatnot. And I just found that such an interesting principle, that non-neediness sort of is attractive in a way.
I try not to. They feel what you feel. Like you're saying. So if I go in there, I'll give me the job. I go in there, just have fun, Teddy. It's not up to you. Because if you're too tall, you're too short, you're too dark, you're this, you're that. You can't control that. You can control your read. Just be real and have fun. I can't be their friend or brother or uncle that they end up hiring. You know, you never know. You just never know. You never know.
So in this full moon, as we're harvesting new things, what is it that you're harvesting the most? What are you looking forward to?
You know what I started doing? The clean comedy. I did a friend of mine's men's meeting at his church. And I was like, he said, he goes, you got to do 10 minutes. He goes, hey, you want to do 10 minutes? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do 10 minutes. So I'm leaving the room. He goes, hey, one more thing. I said, what? It's got to be clean.
Clean?
Hold on, Pastor. I said, hold on, Pastor. I ain't never did no clean. I don't do clean. I can't say did or can't say that. I can't talk about. So I was like, you know what, though? I did it, and I was like, you know what? Because it's
a
better.
good challenge.
It's a good thing.
It's a good challenge.
More people can see it. More people. My son goes, he's 9. He goes, that means I can watch it now, Daddy?
Oh.
Their heart just said, I should have been clean a long time ago. Dang, I missed a lot of years. I could never be a right parent. I said, yeah, buddy, it means you can. Daddy's gonna be clean. So that's the toughest thing. And I started doing it. So we're building a website, and we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do different churches. Just go there for the mini meeting and just make it available and just
love it.
And it helps. Even when I do, I'm doing a show at Ice House on the 7th, and it's clean is better because people. It's just better for me.
Cast a wider net.
And I'm thinking about Jim Gaffigan and some of the
greatest pastors that were pastors were comedians. And
I tried to
face
find it.
the
They
fact.
cussed. They didn't cuss. It was still it was hilarious. I was like, wow.
Well, some cussed, but they still got some truth. They got a lot of truth in there.
And I think if you use a little bit of it, my wife, she's gonna be tripping. A little bit here and there, as long as you don't like do it all red, all cussing, bleep, bleep, bleep. Just like, you don't want to turn people
Well,
off.
so tell people where they can follow you and figure out where you're going to be next so they can come and support.
Thank you. I am going to be at the Ice House October 7th at 7 p.m. on Sunday night, which is coming in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited about that. I love that place. It's so historical. It's such an honor, man. I'm like, I even tell them, I said, wow, think of all the Robin Williams and anybody you can name has been there. And I'm like, and they give you 10 minutes. And you can see I like to talk. So like, most places are 3 to 5, and some places audition with 2 minutes.
Wow.
You got to be funny and get the heck out of here. See, I said heck.
So we can find you to go to the spiritual centers also and find on the website for there.
And also, I'm sorry, on Instagram, it's Teddy Lane Jr. 777. I like 7. That's another religious perfect number or something like that. But and also, what's it called? Facebook, Teddy Lane Jr. And it's L-A-N-E because people always wonder, well, how do you spell your name? And it's not L-A-N-G. And I'm not Love Boat's son because I get that a lot. Let's do it on Love Boat Isaac. I'm not his son.
That's hilarious.
I get that a lot everywhere.
Well,
that and Terry Crews. You're Terry Crews. You're his brother. Teddy Lane Jr.
Looking forward to hearing some truth,
Thank you very
some
much.
clean, meeting your son, and having some laughs. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, LaLaLand.
Live from Los Angeles, this is Good Morning La La Land. Welcome back. Today we've been talking about Motivation Monday and really how to stay full of, I guess, faith and confidence and motivation, like in the midst of like chaos and confusion and frustration.
And the full moon.
And the full moon, most important, the full moon. So the question today, I suspect, is really how do you guys each do that? If there was one thing that you would recommend to other people to stay motivated, to stay full of trust and faith despite things not going their way, what would you suggest? I'm gonna start with you.
Meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I think my escape, because what I do is pretty heavy in my job, so traveling is my balance. And I think we all need to have a balance in life. If you focus too much on one thing, you lose your center.
Sounds like somebody I know. Dr. Erin is big on meditation and travel. You too, of course. Yeah.
Stephen, what about you?
When I'm stressed, when I get too stressed, a lot of I go for a nice walk, you know, on the beach. Sometimes into the ocean.
Sometimes.
Until I can't stand it anymore. Comedy, laughing. I go to the Comedy Store, the Improv, or the Laugh Factory, and I'll sit around and listen to other people try to make light of the problems of the world, and usually that helps a little bit to take the edge off, you know?
Love it.
What about you, Teddy?
Like you said, you know, I love comedy. I like watching cartoons. I like the old cartoons. I like Warner Brothers. I sharing with my son. We laugh, and I love watching Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd and Sylvester, and just I love that. That really gets me going. Plus, I like quotes from successful people like Lincoln. I look at Pinterest and I look at their quote, and I'm like, or Bruce Lee. You said earlier, I was like, wow, I love all his quotes, and keep learning. That's one he said. He goes, always keep learning. Life is just keep learning.
Striking Thoughts, one of my favorite Bruce Lee books of quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you love that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, mine is going to be a practical one. Set a reminder in your cell phone for 2 p.m. and then when it goes off, you actually start your day over. So that way, no matter what's happened at the beginning of the day, if the energy hasn't been going the right way, I'm like, oh, it's 2 o'clock. I can start this over, and that way, every single day, I feel like I really accomplished something I intended to accomplish.
That's why I take a nap.
Yeah.
That's all.
When else they should set an alarm? When else should they set an alarm, you think, Jess? 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. Good morning, LaLaLand. Live Monday through Friday from 9 to 10. We can also listen to your favorite interviews available as a podcast on iTunes.
All right, please like, share, and comment. We're waking up the world together. Have a wonderful day, and may you enjoy this full moon. Use your emotions to invoke and command your subconscious. Do it.
Yes.
It's going to be a good morning, LaLaLand.
Love that.